This is part 3 of our porno movie discussion sequence or series. Um, so let's see. We found a passage in the Bible from Mark 16. So I'm really stuck on doing this exorcism because that just proves that I'm a believer, right? And I'm hoping you are one too because it's just like this is gonna be fun. And mm, I thought of something because we have this gift. We got this from a rabbi in New York near our job because we dropped off our tithing for him. And he was so shocked. And I was just like, yeah, I've always been curious about what it means to be a Jew. I thought we were all the same because we're like, when I know there's some differences because of the split, but Jesus was a Jew. Like, we get the entire Old Testament from Jews, so we have to respect the Jewish tradition, I believe. Once we know what it is and what it means, because a lot of things are indoctrination. A lot of things are just, it's a form of way they teach you so they can control you. But that doesn't mean that the religion is wrong, bad or wrong, or the teachings are wrong. It's the individuals and their intentions rather that are creating the anyway. What I'm trying to find out is the meaning of marriage. Oh, look at old pictures of me. My eyes. What's this word? A daily way of life. Kohanim began to recite in unison the following blessings. Barak or Baruch. My friend went to Baruch. Baruch Ata Adonai Elohanu Melech Haolam Asher Kitshanu Bikdushato Shel Era. See, I'm glad they gave me the English one because I did try to read it. Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who sanctified us with the sanctity of Aaron. I don't really know the entire story of Aaron. I was the brother of Moses, right? He was the one that came with the wand. Call it whatever the fuck you want. A stick that shoots up branches. I made wands in middle school when I was a Wiccan. I know what the fuck a wand is. Aaron had a wand. But it was different because it was given by God. It's different, you know. It's different. It didn't even work the same way we know as Harry Potter. I don't know how the fuck that works either. But at this point, with the prayer shawls over their heads to prevent distraction, that's the only reason it's there. Prevent distraction. Their hands lifted to shoulder height, fingers spread in the appropriate manner. They turn around and face the congregation and conclude the blessing with the words, "And commanded us to bless his people Israel with love." And the reader calls out each word of the blessing to the Kohanim, and they in turn recite the blessing word for word, which is, "Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who sanctifies us with the sanctity of Aaron." Following the words, "V'yeshek mereka yeshunuka shalom." Congregation responds with Amen. The melody used by the Kohanim for the chanting of the blessing should be uniform and specifically reserved for this rite. Words of the blessing must be said loudly enough for the congregation to hear. One should not, however, shout or raise his voice above the others. A pleasant and moderate voice level should be maintained by all of the Kohanim. Oh, this is where I learned West Side from. Kohanim. Ah! Correct fingers of Kohan's hands during priestly benediction. How do you do that? It's just like a E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home. Phone home. Does it have to be like this? Because I'm really more comfortable like this. How do you feel? Priestly benediction must be taken face to face. The Talmud rules that the people standing behind the Kohanim are not included in the blessing, for it indicates that the blessing was not important to them to make them leave their places and stand before the Kohanim to be blessed face to face as required. What's that tell you? I don't know. I'm thinking of him. See, I don't want to be lovesick right now in my video. Got other things to do. Better not to confess about that one. Nah. Yeah, whatever. The Kohen who is sent to perform his duty should first have received some instruction and guidance from another Kohen, from a rabbi, or she should have consulted the codes for additional details of the ceremony that he needs to know. If there are no Kohen in the congregation, the reader substitutes the petitionary prayer, which begins with the words, O God and God of our fathers. This includes the entire priestly benediction in the form of a quotation from the biblical text. The Kohen is given the first aliyah. What's an aliyah? Whenever the Torah is read. Aliyah, like the singer? Work it in, work them in, work change perfection. Oh wait, I wanted to find out what marriage meant in this book in the Jewish tradition, huh? Husband-wife relations. Let's see where marriage starts. Okay, so there's some prohibited marriages, but let's see. Marriage starts around 123 and goes through 139. Sexual discipline in your marriage. So let's start 139, just because I said I want to make porno. Modesty should be the byword in the behavior of every member of a family. It should mark the relationship of a husband and wife, of pairs. First of all, husband and wife, they've already done some freaky shit to have kids. So this is a very loose term. I feel like it should be. You do in your bedroom. I gotta get you a certain type of way. Not my job to teach you. Okay, you're supposed to pray to God and let Him teach you. I'm just giving you give my case. Okay. Hold on. Of every parents and children and every member of the family and all their social relationships outside the family means moderation in speech, in dress, in eating, in drinking, and seeking pleasures and entertainment. Nothing is as gross as vulgar speech or signs of the hand implying vulgar acts or thoughts. Use of curse words and unclouthed expressions is a violation of standard. Not being overly aggressive and forward, but also not overly shy when it's on. Applies moderation to all things. Does not mean that one is to desist from joyous participation in happy occasions, but does mean that one ought to not overindulge to the point of becoming intoxicated. And shall not commit adultery. Biblical commandment which forbids any relationship with another man's wife. Both the wife and the man who commits such an offense are equally guilty. This violation is among the gravest of all offenses. Gravest of offenses. I didn't say all, because I'm pretty sure it's killing somebody worse, but it's up there. It's up there. You might as well kill them. Kill the relationship and the family and everything that's attached to them. You are a murderer, adulteress, and This sin is not so much against the husband of the unfaithful wife as it is against God Himself, who precept the law is violated. A blessing, the holy woman immerses herself once again. Blessed art thou, Lord, O God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with His commandments and commanded us concerning the immersion. Immersion of what? What is this going on? Okay, the widespread practice wearing nails long and to take great effort in caring for them with cosmetic instruments that are effective in removing accumulated dirt and in thoroughly cleansing under the nails should prove no deterrent to going to the mikvah. Nevertheless, at times of immersion, the nails are due to be cut because they are too long. They should be cut down to the desired length prior to immersion. What does this mean? Whether since rabbinic opinion, what's this got to do with my nails? Want some sexy nails now? Did I get okay? Did I get the okay to be sexier than this? You like this? Okay, because I was just doing it, but now I don't know. These are mine. This ain't acrylic. That's okay. That's her hair, but she got to put something on her fingertips. What the fuck? Like, stop. If anyone got anything to say about that, we got all things. I got to bounce back for everybody against my weave. I'm still on that shit. Yeah, we gonna have to break some cycles. Motherfuckers don't like this covering that they said I'm supposed to use to keep from distractions. It is an excuse. I still love it. At the mikvah, supervised by a woman attendant, the woman prepares herself for the ritual immersion by first cleaning herself thoroughly in a hot bath and removing all articles such as bandages, hairpins, rings, and even nail polish that would constitute a barrier between the water and all parts of her body. The hair is also washed and combed. It's the responsibility of the wife to note carefully the day on which she saw last blood and count it to the 7 clean days that follow so that her visit to the mikvah is never too soon nor unnecessarily delayed. A woman is raised in the state of nida until she's immersed herself in a ritual body of water called the mikvah. This immersion is the ritual act that divides in 2 periods of time: the period of separation, when marital relations are forbidden, and the period of union, when such relations are not only permissible but regarded as essential to physical and mental health. See, nigga, you making me have peace. I'm supposed to on a certain day. It's about the bath thing. The bitch watching this right now. They said I gotta take the nail polish off. No, for real. We're gonna put the nail polish back on. Fresh coat, fresh coat. It's gonna be a whole fucking job. And they made you wash your hair. You gotta straighten it all over again. During the period of separation, the husband and wife may not sleep in the same bed as a precaution lest they forget themselves. It is for this reason that twin beds rather than double beds have been the adopted style in the Jewish home. That was cool. I wanted a double bed anyway. Like, I was trying to book a hotel with dude, and I wanted a double bed. You know why? You know why? It's not just the cover. Not just the cover. I want you to know you have to be invited over here, like, nigga, and vice versa. But I'm gonna harass you and come over there anyway. But, like, you have the right to kick me out. But, like, you're not kicking me out of the room. Still here, nigga. They didn't like that. Ooh, my hairpin. Let's see. 7-day period. This is sexual discipline in marriage. You should not come near a woman while she is impure by her uncleanness to uncover her nakedness. Basic for sexual discipline, the rules that govern the Jewish marriage relationship. These laws are generally referred to as family purity. For a full 7-day period from the onset of the monthly menstrual period, the Torah prohibits all sexual relations between husband and wife. The technical term for the state in which the wife is during the menstrual period is called the niddah, literally means to be removed or separated. By rabbinic edict, some will extend this period of separation to 7 clean days following the menstrual period, since the menstrual period lasts about 5 days. For the average woman, so a period of separation is then enforced each month is about 12 days. Divorce. Despite every effort to preserve the peace of the home and the harmony of the husband-wife relationship, bitterness, continuous strife, and the flames of dissension nevertheless prevail. It is better that the couple should be parted and not continue to live together. In such instances, the Torah provides for the bonds of marriage to be dissolved by a divorce. The law allowing divorce is based off of biblical precept. Its procedure is strictly governed by the halakha. The term for the Jewish divorce is get. Get one. I want one. Stop. I mean, we got married yet together. But a religious marriage that is consecrated according to the law of Moses in Israel is not dissolved by the decree of a judge in a civil court who acts in accordance with the secular laws of the state, but must be served also according to the law of Moses in Israel. Without a get, the marriage status of the couples remains in force. You gotta get a priestly divorce, nigga. That sucks. You have to know. See, it's one thing you get one with the church. I mean, with the court and the judge, and it's just like, well, you guys might still have a relationship, but like, you already went to God to close off this relationship. Like, there not be a comeback on that one. Like, so how many times are you gonna ask to come back to God for the same person? Thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. You want a divorce? Go to God, but you can't come back to her or him. Not like that. You asked for one, and then you got it. Why are you harassing them? You can't go wishy-washy. I just personally just looking at the things that I sense and feel. Let's see. Any marriage or relationship that might therefore be contracted following a civil divorce without benefit of a religious divorce has no validity according to Jewish religion's law and is regarded as an adulterous relationship. So your side bitch, the next one, it's not official. It has to be ordained. Ordained. I just feel like saying that because some bitches are mad right now. This is gonna be a page I saved with my hair clip. Just really said that, right? Where a husband and wife have parted ways and no longer consider themselves to be husband and wife, or have arranged for a civil divorce in the secular course, it is a religious transgression of the gravest magnitude to neglect to arrange for a get out of indifference or to refuse to do so out of misguided spite. Such neglect affects not only the man and the woman themselves in the sight of God, and whatever subsequent partners they may see. So you have to give me this porno. Let me stop. It messes with the partners afterwards. See, because I said some people are gonna be mad, and so like now I feel like I have like a legal reason to have what I want. Cause let me stop. I don't feel good. I hit myself the right way or the wrong way, and that also affects not only man and the woman themselves in the sight of God, and whatever subsequent partners they may take unto themselves, but also puts an unfortunate stigma of illegitimacy upon children who may be born from subsequent unions. Okay, let's see. What is even a marriage? We still haven't gotten there. 17 minutes, we still. Anger in a household is like a worm among sesame seeds. Because sesame seeds are so small, when a worm spoils some of them, all must be discarded because it's impossible to separate the good seeds from the worm-eaten ones. And this is from the Pesachim, 66. Through anger, the wise man loses his wisdom. But she couldn't, yeah, because I felt bad after. I was like, damn, because you just knocked all this shit down, just trying to make a point. Not even your husband. I don't know if your husband, my husband. I thought you were. In the spirit. We didn't get that legal thing. I wasn't worried about the tax benefits. I was worried about whether it was a real thing. It's okay. It's okay. I just want my porno and you can go. Seriously. That's your get. You know, cause I sent you the message after we were in church on March 11th, 2018, documented, and the priest read from year B. And when I was told that there were 2 years to read from on daylight savings day, and none of the other pastors prior in the year, because I've been coming every day, has said that, I was just like, God just gave me the okay for plan B. Hit the send. I did the send in front of the priest because he had the discussion. That was one of the readings about in church because I didn't say I remembered all of them, but I do remember the message. People don't like things in the light because they're doing something shameful, so they like the dark, and they don't like things in the light because they do things in the dark. I was just like, hey, nothing I'm trying to hide about this one. I'm trying to fuck you. Said it twice. Eat and drink less and add the savings to enhance your dwelling place. In the affairs of the household and the feeding and clothing of his sons and daughters, a man should follow the advice of his wife, as a peace and harmony will dwell in the home as a result. That's from the Baba Matzah. Our sages said a man should always flatter his wife for the sake of marital harmony. A woman of valor who can find, for her price is far above rubies. Proverbs 31:10. The Jewish sage once said, this psalm is a praise of the woman who deliberately gives up her father's ways in favor of those of her husband, who smiles upon him even when he is angry, who honors him in poverty as well as in wealth, in old age as in youth. She is slow to leave home, but quick to give bread to the poor. Though she may have many servants, she does not sit idly by, but works with them. She is attentive to those who address her, but not hasty in response. She is happy with her husband's happiness and a source of hope to him when he is burdened with woe. Her ways are seemly, and she is clad in modesty. Who is rich? Rabbi Akiva said. He who has a wife whose ways are pleasant. A man should be kingly and not demanding in his house. One must learn to listen patiently and attentively to the wishes, the claims, or the arguments of a wife and children before responding so that the responses be considered and appropriate and not hasty or thoughtless. Yeah, because I might say some off the wall shit and I'll be completely wrong. You have to listen to me and find the right parts because there is a little part right here that may be the source of my disease, my dis-ease. And then, you can kind of pinpoint it and find it and be like, are you happy now? And I was just like, I don't expect you to make me happy for everything. I just expect you to pay attention to these little things. And be like, are you happy now? No. Okay, whatever. Yes, I am happy now. Okay. Relationship of husband and wife. Finally. A peaceful home where harmony and goodwill between husband and wife reign must be overriding value, concern, and aim of every couple. That which leads to shalom bayit has merit, which is a peaceful home. Words or actions that tend to destroy the peace and harmony of the home by introducing suspicion, anger, or resentment have no merit whatsoever, even if the words or the emotion expressed may be otherwise described as honest or truthful or self-fulfilling. According to the biblical precept, a husband is responsible for providing his wife with her food, clothing, and conjugal rights. Exodus 21:10. This precept teaches that it is the husband's responsibility to satisfy the physical needs of his wife. A man must never force himself upon his wife against her will. On the contrary, conjugal relations should always be with her full consent. If a feeling of hatred exists, he to her or she to him, even if the physical intercourse itself may be desired, it should be avoided. If there is anger between a husband and wife, it is forbidden to engage in the conjugal act until anger has abated and tender words have replaced the harsh. A woman must never deliberately delay her immersion in the mikvah or otherwise make herself unavailable to her husband just to annoy or aggravate him. What did I do? that was the whole reason why Vishnu didn't got replaced by Esther, because he said show up in your crown butt naked to the court just because he wanted to show her off. He's just like, my wife is better than all of these bitches, and he's just like, and I'm the king, so I'm just telling you, I've seen all of it, and I'm still with her, and watch just. And she was doing her little girl talk Avon sales pitch to the other ladies, and she felt disrespected even though she knew she'd been working out on her shit. So why the fuck didn't she show up? Because he's just like, well, the nigga is drunk. Wants me to come in. It's like, bitch, how did you get drunk anyway with these bitches and get naked? Show up. Whatever. But, and so then, like, what's the rest of this? The sages also cautioned the man to be most careful about avoiding insulting his wife so as not to cause her pain by his words. This applies when the words between them are said in private. How much greater is the severity of the pain and the sin entailed when such insults or criticism are made before others? A man must love his wife at least as much as himself, but honor her more than himself. A man should eat and drink with less than his means allow him, should dress according to his means, and should honor, by proper clothing and dwelling place, his wife and children with even more than he can afford. We're supposed to get the extra. Bitch, you just got the okay to get away. First of all, I work for Sephora. They based off of the wife of Moses. Let me stop. That's not a reason to be greedy, petty, and using that nigga to work at this lady. You see him tired, dressed like this because he don't got much. You still asking? Bitch, what's wrong with you, bitch? But, so I haven't found what considered a marriage. It's important for parents to show love to his children, adequately attentive to their needs and their problems, honoring parents, the education and upbringing of children. Still haven't tired. What's a marriage? It literally is whatever the hell God said. That marriage you get in court, that has yet. They said even if you got a divorce, it doesn't count. So you get one from God. You gotta get a get. Look, I told you, I just want to do this. I'm tired of these stupid things. We're doing the same thing over and over again. I don't think I'm going to be honored by you. I'm running away from you from the start. Then I come back and you don't want it. So then I'm just saying, look, we're going to part. I want the honorable treatment that I didn't get. And you can leave after I record everything. And it's okay. If you write in the consent thing that you don't want it to be seen, other than because you get a DVD too, then that's fine. Fine. I'm be reasonable. I'll be the one that watches it again. Didn't you see that it says that when you don't get one and when you do get one, that it creates havoc for everybody involved, even your future relationship? Why don't you be nice to me and my future husband and yourself? But everybody, because she's mad too, and I'm tired of her stalking my fucking profile page, mad at me. Like, I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Nigga, don't listen to me. He's supposed to. My bad. Okay, so here's okay. To make up, this is the thing that I said you have to wear. See? From the wear. Actually, this could have been any book. You gotta make sure it's a real thing, Sophia. I'll be a joke. Like holy underwear. You need this on, man. That's a strap-on piece. No, I know how to make these. I was actually surprised if I was making these and then I found this. I don't know why you would put it on your forehead like that, though, nigga. Got one for your hand, got one for your head. Intermediate days. Fish out and see God. Some days you don't wear this Teflon thing. That's okay. I don't wear it every day either. Procedure of putting on, take it off. Just Teflon. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is your God, is Lord one, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. And these words which I command you this day, bind them as a sign on your hand and as a symbol frontlets between your eyes, and write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates. These passages from the Torah, this is Deuteronomy 6:4-9, are the basis for the observance of two unique Jewish symbols that since ancient times testify to the eternal covenant between God and Israel, the Teflon and the Mezuzah. Both are capsule-sized reminders of the entire Torah, which the Jew is bidden to observe, whereas the Mezuzah is placed at the entrance of a dwelling place in the home of to designate it as a Jewish in character, serve as a reminder of the divine presence and the obligation to observe all his commandments. The tefillin are worn on the person, on the hand and head. Two small black boxes. I don't put boxes on mine. I don't know. I just literally just make it. But I don't. You could put it out. You could strap a piece of paper on a bandana. To make the reminder of your covenant with God, right? But it works, right? Whatever. I've said enough to you guys. I think I said too much.